Today on Tariq's Take, the fight for justice for Elijah McClain, abolishing historic symbols of racism, latest on coronavirus and how these leaders need to step it up, the race for the Oval Office, how non-black voice actors are leaving their black characters on TV, and my experience going to see Charlotte, North Carolina's Black Lives Matter street painting. You don't want to miss a single minute of it. Hello, and welcome to the third episode of my new series, Tariq's Take. Please comment down below what you are liking and not liking, and any suggestions. Share to anyone that you would think would like to hear about the current events going on in the world as well. And subscribe for more weekly broadcasts. Getting right into it today, we are talking about how we demand justice for the stomach-churning murder of Elijah McClain. McClain was a 23-year-old massage therapist based in Aurora, Colorado, who loved playing violin and cats. He was approached last August by police while walking down the street, unarmed, bringing home an iced tea for his brother from a convenience store. The officers claimed he was suspicious just because he was wearing a ski mask. He needed a ski mask because he was anemic and gets cold easily. Take a look at this clip to see what happens next, as it is easier observed than described.
Right there. Hey, stop right there. Stop. 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 I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
Well, okay.
Turn around.
No,
Turn around.
Actually, your hands are
Turn around.
Stop.
Stop tensing up, dude. Stop tensing up, bro. Stop tensing up.
Let go of me.
Stop tensing up. Stop tensing up.
No, let go of me.
Stop tensing up.
No, I am an introvert.
Stop
Please respect
tensing
the
up.
boundaries that I am speaking.
Stop tensing up.
Stop.
Relax.
Stop. I'm going home.
Relax, or I'm going to have to change this situation.
As you can tell, he is very uncomfortable and nervous because he's a shy, introverted person, and in his words, different. So it is extremely disrespectful that the officers had no regard for him or his personality and thought he was a criminal. Officers continued to struggle with him as he was probably overwhelmed by what was happening to him. Officers next placed him in a carotid hold or chokehold, and he repeated these three words that we hear way too much these days: I can't breathe. In the next few minutes, he was loaded into an ambulance. Before, he was sedated with ketamine to quote-unquote calm him down, whatever that means. The ambulance left the scene, and in the ambulance, he had 2 heart attacks and was sadly pronounced brain dead 3 days later. In a few moments, pause this video to view his last known words that happened during the incident. Protests all over the country and movements have taken place on social media to fight for his justice, as no officers have been charged. This precious, amazing, and kind soul will not be forgotten. I know I won't forget him. We need more people like him in this world, as he was such a good soul. Moving to how we as a country are abolishing historic symbols of racism that have damaged this country for way too long. Statues, flags, names, and historic memories of racism are being removed all over the country. Since George Floyd, statues of John C. Calhoun, Johnny Reb, the Confederate Monument in Portsmouth, Virginia, John Breckinridge Castleman, statue of Confederate soldiers in Jacksonville, Florida, Charles Lynn, Robert E. Lee, Appomattox Raffle Sims, Jefferson Davis, Confederate Monument in Atlanta, Georgia, and Raleigh, North Carolina, Albert Pike, and Edward Colston have all been removed because they are symbols of racism. These men were slave owners, Confederate leaders, and hatred men in general. NASCAR and others have decided to ban and separate Confederate flags from their names in honor of the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, as you may think, these things are not erasing history because they are a major part of what built this country, but in a horrible way. But it is respecting the Black heritage by getting rid of reminders of hate, slavery, injustice, inequality, and disrespect that generations of Blacks have endured. And we just want to be equal, respected, and given justice fairly. That's all we ask. When we come back, burning topics that you don't want to miss. Latest on coronavirus and how these leaders need to step it up, and the race for Oval Office. Who will win? Smaller current events. Pause to read all at your own discretion. Welcome back. Now onto some important topics you don't want to miss. First, we have the latest on coronavirus. On Thursday, June 25th, 2020, 39,327 new coronavirus cases were reported in the United States in one single day. One day. That is astronomical and not in a good way. As cases in the US top 2.59 million and over 128,000 deaths in the United States, states are buckling down on restrictions. That's what needs to be done. Be proactive, not reactive. People, these numbers are out of control. It's wild. More than 30 states across the country are reporting surges in cases and hospitalizations. Florida, Texas, California, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, and Louisiana are reporting record high numbers of new cases. They are the new epicenters of this virus. With this, states are also buckling down on restrictions with required masks, travel restrictions, and other proactive decisions to tackle this virus. With that, please wear a mask, practice social distancing, and follow the rule given by your city and state. Another thing that is making this virus worse is the president is not taking it seriously. The way he talks about it and the things he does about it are little to none. He is acting like this virus is something 2 or 3 people have, like it's not real, like it's not deadly. You can see this because he had the nerve to hold a rally on June 20th, 2020 during this detrimental pandemic. But he got what he deserved because the turnout was not what he expected, as it was under 600,200 people in attendance, when the venue could hold 19,200 people at its maximum. It turns out the event was sabotaged by TikTok teens and K-pop stans who messed with Trump by reserving seats and not showing up. This is karma well deserved because he thought it would be a good idea to hold a rally while thousands of people are dying every day from this virus. Well done, teens. Now changing topics to the race for the Oval Office and who is looking like they will win this year. With just 128 days to the election, both parties have a lot to do, but right now the Republican Party is falling behind, as Joe Biden has 2,144 delegates behind him, and Donald Trump has 2,012 delegates behind him. Pretty close, but there is still a difference. If things continue like this, we can get Biden in the White House, someone who can actually make a change in response to events in the past months. Biden is aware of racial inequality, coronavirus, and other social, economic, and worldly issues. If he can get a good VP, it would be certain that he and that VP will be able to make a difference in this world. A good, strong woman would be excellent for Biden's VP. I think a great one would be Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. But professionals say Kamala Harris, Val Demings, and Susan Rice will most likely be the VPs. Only time will tell who will win, but there are a lot of teens turning 18 by November 3rd, and we don't like the Trump and Pence campaign. So we might be able to fit somebody qualified into the Oval Office. When we return, we have topics that you don't want to miss, and they are more positive. How non-black voice actors are leaving their black characters on TV in response to the Black Lives Matter movement, and my experience going to see Charlotte, North Carolina's Black Lives Matter street painting. Environmental news. Pause to read all at your own discretion. Welcome back. Now moving to our last two topics. They are something more positive. The first one is non-black voice actors leaving their black roles on TV in respect for the Black Lives Matter movement. Actors Kristen Bell, Jenny Slate, Henry Shearer, Hank Azaria, Mike Henry, and others have decided to give up their jobs because they are non-black people playing black characters. I agree with this because it is a chance for characters to be authentically played by black people. The main head-scratching thing is why these roles would be offered and taken in the first place. I understand a big part of comedy is doing voices, but the problem comes when these actors purposely try to sound like a stereotypical black. Black just doesn't sound like one certain thing, but there are ranges in their voices. So I find it disrespectful when these voice stereotypes are used to demonstrate the quote-unquote typical black, when it actually all comes down to who and where you are from. Now onto the final story, my experience going to see the Black Lives Matter street painting in Charlotte, North Carolina. I visited this amazing piece of artwork on June 26, 2020. Let me tell you, this experience was powerful, thrilling, and momentous. It felt so serene because Charlotte was so quiet, I guess because of the pandemic. But there wasn't a lot of people there, so that made it even more great. There was a sort of sense of spirit, like when you go to an important historical place of remembrance, almost like it was sacred. And I want to give credit to these artists because they did an amazing job. Take a look at these clips recorded from my iPhone. As you can see, it was a pretty amazing experience. This is a momentous thing to end off on. My closing argument is we need to evolve as one. We need to come together and take on this world as one. And any sort of racism to any race, from any race, I think is unacceptable. Even if you feel like you want revenge for what a certain race did to yours. I understand that feeling. Sometimes I feel that myself. But if we really want to get rid of racism, we have to come together. Any sort of racism, whether it's a person, statue, or flag, does not need to be displayed as a good thing or something that made this country good. Tell how people and things are for what they are. Don't dress things up. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you for all the support and positive messages and new subscribers. You are severely appreciated. This was the 3rd episode of Tariq's Take, and I am Tariq Johnson. I will see you in the next video.